Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, I'm Brendan Kaplan, Senior Marketing Specialist here at AdTech. We're really excited that you've chosen to tune in to our JIRA Service Desk webinar today. As you know, Atlassian, at its recent AUG meeting on the 12th, conducted a webinar on JIRA Service Desk in dozens of locations simultaneously. So this product is something that Atlassian is really throwing its weight behind. They've made a lot of modifications to features and pricing. So there's a lot of great information today, and people at AUGS had expressed to me that although the information was really good, people were kind of focused on some socialization. There was a lot of good food. So we at AdTech just wanted to make sure everybody got the opportunity to really get the information that is so important and vital to this growing and evolving ecosystem. So it's 1 o'clock right now, which is our target start time, and we're going to stay on schedule, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this is solving problems with customizations and expansions for JIRA Service Desk. Atlassian has a very, very robust experts model, and these experts are responsible for providing services to a lot of Atlassian products. We're AdTech, we're one of these expert service providers. We specialize in using automation to improve all aspects of software configuration management. So even though we work with many tools in addition to the Atlassian tool chain, we really, really believe in Atlassian. So we do software configuration management. We've been providing software services for over 8 years. We're Atlassian experts, and in fact, we're now enterprise experts. I'm now seeing I should update this slide to reflect our new status. And we also provide some managed hosting services, build automation, custom development, and customizations to the Atlassian toolchain. And you already know who Atlassian is, so I'm going to just sort of skip that. And today, my name once again is Brendan Kaplan, Senior Marketing Specialist at AdTech. And we also have Paul Biagio with his new fancy last name. I'm going to sort of embarrass him. He was recently married, so congratulations to Paul, and we're really looking forward to the great information he has for us today. He's a senior Atlassian expert at AdTech, and he's also a product evangelist. And in fact, he was one of the former leaders of the most attended Atlassian users group in world history, the New York AUG. So we're very, very excited that he's with us today and has some good information for us. At the end, we're going to do a Q&A session. So if you're tuned into your GoToWebinar control panel, you can ask any questions. If you think of a question later on, you can feel free to contact me, Brendan Kaplan, BRENDAN.KAPLAN @adtech.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Paul from AdTech. Thank you for joining today's webinar on JIRA Service Desk. I'd like to give a special shout out to any members of the Atlassian user group, especially from the DC area. I hold AUGs close to my heart. I actually used to be one of the former leaders of the New York City Atlassian user group. So I'm sure many of you already have heard about the basics of what Service Desk is, but it's basically a plugin that is added on top of JIRA that extends the functionality of JIRA to allow for a customer portal. It makes JIRA much more user-friendly. It also adds SLAs to tickets so that you can set custom SLAs for your teams and monitor their performance. And I'll go through all that and show you guys how you can customize that. JIRA Service Desk can be set up to work with an existing project, or you can set up a new Service Desk project from scratch. So today I'm using an on-demand version, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that from scratch. Once you install the Service Desk plugin from the UPM, which is the Universal Plugin Manager, you'll see the Service Desk tab up here in the main navigation bar. So why don't we get started and create a Service Desk? So the latest version of Service Desk is based on a per agent pricing model. Version 1.0 of Service Desk requires you to have a matching license tier to the tier that you have with JIRA. So for example, if you had a JIRA instance of 500 users, you had to pay for a 500 user license of JIRA Service Desk. With the new version, you pay per agent. So if you only have 5 people using Service Desk, you only have to pay for those 5 agents, and you can have unlimited users, which are referred to as customers in JIRA Service Desk. And users of Service Desk do not have to be users of JIRA, which is a much requested feature, and it's something new that they added in version 2.0. So here we're prompted to create a new Service Desk. We're going to click on New Service Desk Project, and we're going to name this Test Project. Now, what's nice is when you create your first project, JIRA has a great walkthrough. So why don't we go through this real quick? Let's get started. And this is what your agents will see. It's how you configure the project. It's separate from the customer portal. The customer portal is where your customers actually come to raise issues, whereas this is where your agents actually come to work on the issues. So let's take a quick look at this customer portal. What you're looking at right now is the customer portal, which is where your customers will go to file requests. Notice that it doesn't look anything like JIRA. A lot of people are very daunted by actually creating regular tickets in JIRA, especially if they're not IT savvy. So this creates a nice portal that masks the default look and feel of JIRA. So let's start by picking a request type. So these are predefined when you first create your JIRA Service Desk project, but they can be fully customized. So let's start with Get IT Help. So as you can see, the first field here is raise this request on behalf of. This field is actually only seen to Service Desk agents, and it's great if you are an agent that is taking a phone call and you want to create a ticket for someone. You can actually specify who the reporter is here. If a regular user is filing a Service Desk ticket, the reporter will default to them and they will not have this option. Then you see the other fields that are required for this ticket. You can make these required fields or optional. These are all optional fields since they don't have a required designation on them. And then you can customize these with helpful tooltip information. Once you fill this out, you click the Create button, and a Service Desk ticket is created. So as a customer filing a ticket, this is all I'm going to see. I don't see the actual view of JIRA. So now let's take a look at what the agent sees. So as this tooltip says, a customer request becomes an issue for an agent. This is the request that we just created. So let's click on it and see how it actually looks for us. Because Service Desk tickets are regular JIRA tickets, they follow the traditional JIRA workflow, and agents can transition issues through the various statuses. These statuses, though, can be customized for the actual reporters, the customers. So what the customer sees and what an agent sees can be two different things, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Here you also see that there's a comment section. This is how you can communicate with customers back and forth. And you also see this request type field. This request type field is what differentiates a regular JIRA ticket from a JIRA Service Desk ticket. The request type can also be easily changed by an agent. So if someone files a ticket and it's of the wrong designation, you can easily change it and make it what it should be. It also shows you more information about what the customer sees. So they see as a status waiting for support, and it also tells you what channel this ticket was filed through. Tickets can be filed through email, or they could be filed through the actual customer portal. So let's go ahead and mark this ticket as resolved. Here you see a resolution screen. These screens are fully customizable, and you can make fields required. You can make fields optional. You can eliminate fields completely. We're going to say this issue is fixed, and responding to the customer, we're going to say this issue is resolved. Another interesting thing to note is that in Service Desk, there's two types of comments. There's comments that are publicly visible to the customer, and these are by default actually emailed to the customer, but you can also make internal notes. If you make an internal comment, no email is sent to the customer, and these will be only visible to agents and collaborators. So let's resolve this issue. Let's respond to the customer. And we've resolved our first issue, and now we can continue to walk through Service Desk and make some more modifications. So, as I mentioned earlier, the latest version of Service Desk lets you specify agents. Agents are the only people that are actually able to work on these issues by default. And then you have a customers panel that lists all people that can access JIRA Service Desk. You have controls whether you allow everyone to access Service Desk, so even users without accounts can create issues, or you can lock this down so that only actual registered JIRA users can use your Service Desk portal. The nice thing that was added recently is also this collaborators feature. So if you have someone on a different team that you want to see this issue and provide feedback, you can add them as a collaborator to the issue. The next tab you see is the Reports tab, and this is where you can create all sorts of reports to measure team performance and SLAs. These are all powered by JQL, and they're very easy to create and customize. The next tab is the SLA tab. As I mentioned previously, the nice thing about Service Desk is that it adds an SLA layer on top of JIRA. So this is perfect for help desks so that you can measure a team's performance and responsiveness. You can set goals for the team, and all of these SLAs can be created through JQL queries, and you can also start and pause the actual timing countdown based on various statuses of the workflow. The settings panel is where you actually go to customize how your customer portal looks. Here you have various issue types that you would create the way you normally would create an issue type in a regular JIRA project. And here you can actually map them to request types within JIRA Service Desk. So here if I click Edit Fields, this is where you can actually map regular JIRA issue fields to customer portal fields and change the way they appear for customers. So this is also where we can customize how workflow statuses appear to customers. So if we have a workflow status that says resolved, we can change this so that the customer sees it as issue has been fixed. And we can save this. And so now when the workflow is when an issue is transitioned through the workflow and the status becomes resolved, when the customer gets notified, the status says issue has been fixed. Let's move on to portal settings. So this is where you can actually customize the look and feel of your Service Desk. You can upload a custom portal logo, you can change the portal name, and you can add some introductory text. So as I mentioned before, requests can be created either through the customer portal or through email. If you have a dedicated email box that people know to send requests to, you can connect it here, and JIRA will search that mailbox periodically and pull new emails and create issues from them automatically. Finally, another nice feature of Service Desk is that you can link this to a Confluence knowledge base. So if you have JIRA connected to Confluence, you can automatically link this to a dedicated knowledge base space, and you can take Service Desk tickets and convert them into knowledge base articles. So JIRA Service Desk isn't only for help desk teams. We found that a lot of clients really like the simplified user interface of the customer portal. So we've created a lot of projects for them that are not help desk related. Some examples include expense report submissions, time off requests, event sign-up sheets. So the reason a lot of our customers choose to use Service Desk for unconventional means is because of the simplified user interface for submitting tickets and also the powerful reporting that JIRA provides. If you have any specific questions about projects you would like to use Service Desk for, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at EdTech, and we would gladly be able to answer any questions you may have. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, now is the time for Q&A.
And thank you, everybody. So one of the things that I was really interested in, Paul, and I'm going to give you a second to jump back in here, is what are some of the technical issues we may have had to deal with when doing these, I guess, off-label prescriptions, we'll call them. If somebody is using JIRA Service Desk in a non-traditional way, are there any sort of technical hurdles that need to be overcome, and how involved is the process in doing that? So I'll let you. I guess I'll let you jump in on there if you're ready.
All right. So in regards to technical challenges, out of the box, JIRA Service Desk doesn't support a lot of custom fields, especially the advanced ones. So that's something that is just being developed now. We at AdTech had to develop some custom fields specifically for Service Desk, and there's some other plugins out on the market that are available for that as well. Also, some of our customers wanted more advanced email parsing, so we've implemented some custom email handlers, and also the JEdit plugin for better HTML support for when comments are created from email. So figuring that out was kind of a difficult challenge for us, but we definitely worked our way around it. Also, there's no real documented API for Service Desk yet. I know it's something that Atlassian has in the works. So right now it's kind of been a little bit of a challenge to reverse engineer everything, but it's definitely doable, and you know, it's definitely something that is only going to improve in the future.
Great. I see another question from Sean, and he's asking, are there dynamic forms available for the customer interface?
So out of the box, no. There is a custom plugin that will do that. Although every request type, you can actually customize what fields appear on that customer portal. So the easiest way to get around that is to just configure each request type individually, and you know, assign custom fields to that request type through the various schemes available in JIRA.
And Paul, roughly how involved is that process to do?
If you know how to administer JIRA, then it's pretty easy. If you're not familiar with JIRA configuration, that's something definitely, you know, I would recommend reaching out to an expert. You can always reach out to us, and we'd love to help you get that all set up.
Interesting. Also, you know, we're talking about how JIRA Service Desk is designed to sort of mask over some of the technical jargon that users may have to deal with when just using a straight JIRA instance. How is the compatibility between those two dealt with? And more specifically, what if there's somebody who only wants to use JIRA Service Desk? How does those two things interact that way?
So since Service Desk is built on top of JIRA, JIRA is a required element in order to use Service Desk. So they're very interrelated. I do not, well, yeah, you definitely can't have just Service Desk running alone. It's an add-on onto JIRA.
So you could configure just like a vanilla JIRA instance and then overlay Service Desk on top, and then mainly worry about Service Desk after that.
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
And if you have an existing JIRA project and you want to add Service Desk on top of it, you can do that as well. The way I created the project in the demo, I created it as a Service Desk project from the get-go. So that was just the easiest way to do it. But if you already have an existing project and you want to allow you know, the customer portal to be used for that, you can easily configure that as well. The one thing that I kind of found helpful in a lot of projects, I didn't need SLAs for them, so I just deleted them and it works totally fine.
Nice. I see Simon is asking regarding ticket assignments and which agents get them. How are we with some of our customers and clients finding that process works with Service Desk? What is wonderful about it? What might there be some customization that could fix, et cetera?
Yeah, so by default you can you can configure queues and you can customize them with JQL. So you can have your agents work from a queue, and then the next available agent just grabs the top ticket in the queue or the most recent ticket, however you want to configure it. Or you can assign default assignees for issue types. You could do it per issue type, or you can change it per day. Because I know, like at the help desk that we're working at currently, on one of our projects, is that they have rotations, so it's not as easy as you would think to have an automated rotation happening, but that's something we can definitely customize if anyone's interested.
Yeah, I think that's the name of the game, since ad tech is all about automation in software configuration management, and also in all of our other tools. Automation is something that I think people who are interacting with ad tech are definitely interested in. So I think that's a really
Out of the
great.
box, there's Service Desk is kind of limited, and it's still a developing product, as with all Atlassian products. So if there's some features that you think are lacking, you can easily file a support ticket with them. But in the meantime, that's what we're all about, is customizing all the Atlassian tools to kind of meet the needs of a business.
Great. Thanks, Paul. Are there any other questions that people have? I'm actually pretty pleased with some of the questions we've gotten so far. So I don't want to be greedy, but if anybody else has some other great insights to drive the conversation forward, we're more than happy to accommodate those. Or if you think of things later, Paul and the rest of the ad tech team is certainly willing and eager to answer. Oh, here we go. We've got another from Sean saying, right now we pull fields from other databases to create drop-down options for customers to pick. Is that something that can be created in Jira Service Desk?
In the customer portal, not at the moment. That's something that we would have to develop a custom solution for you if you want to implement that.
Do you feel like that answers your question, Sean? I'll give you a few seconds to type if you have a more detailed or specific follow-up. Sean says, what about on the agent side, Paul?
Yeah, on the agent side, everything is the same as Jira. It's literally like, if you can do it in Jira, it's the same thing. The only thing that's really different about Service Desk is that the only thing that distinguishes a Service Desk ticket from just a plain vanilla Jira ticket is the request type field, the customer request type field.
Okay, that makes sense. So on the agent side, it's a little bit more automated. On the other side, it needs some customization from an expert, basically. Great. So I'm going to leave the floor open for a few more questions if anybody wants, but it looks like I think we're sort of drawing to a close now. I know Atlassian is fond of giving people a few minutes of their day back, and we at AdTech, we really believe in the entire Atlassian business model. So if nobody else has anything, we're happy to let you catch a few extra 5 minutes of lunch or something. But of course, if anybody thinks of anything else, we're here at AdTech. We're always happy to answer questions. We're a coder shop, so let me know, and we're here. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.